Good morning and welcome back to the Now Morning Show, where we encourage you to make a difference now. This year is upon us, and maybe one of your resolutions is to do exactly that. Perhaps you intend to do so by joining associations of dynamic proportions. Our next guests will inspire you to do exactly that, as we are joined today by two members of the Association of Female Executives of Trinidad and Tobago, particularly members of the board, Miss Melena Simon O'Neill and Miss Simone Francois-Whittier. Good morning, ladies, and welcome to the Now Morning Show.
Good morning, Ainka. Thank you for having us.
Thanks.
So we will begin with proper titles because, Melena, you are currently the president, and Simone, you are the president-elect. Yes, ladies?
That is correct.
Now, to each of these titles, we also have to add quite a few others because, as the name implies, executives in your own feet, many CEOs, many entrepreneurs on the board. But this morning, we will start with you, Melena, because as a wedding planner, an event designer, and entrepreneur, you certainly can be someone that not just females, but anyone can look up to towards a brighter 2023. Tell us about your role in AFETT and perhaps your story as to how you would have joined altogether.
Thank you. Well, AFET is dear to my heart, and it is really an honor to have been afforded the opportunity to lead this distinguished body. I came to this organization sometime in about 2015. I was seeking networking opportunities, a forum where I can connect with like-minded women, a forum where I can receive mentorship and guidance as I sought to elevate myself, my brand, and my career. And AFED provided that opportunity. Over the years, it allowed me, to grow, to connect with some fabulous, amazing executive women throughout Trinidad and Tobago. But most importantly, it also provided a platform for me to mentor and give back. And so this is why we are here to tell you a little bit about what we have planned this morning and for the
Perfect.
rest of the year. I am honored, as I said, to have persons like Mrs. Francois-Whittier, who is here as president-elect. And she herself will tell you her story, because ironically, I think we were both pinned on the same day when we joined AFET.
Nice. And you have the Tobago end of things covered. So let's jump across then, Mr. Tia. Tell us a little bit as to your inspiration or motivation to align with AFET as well.
Much like Melena, first let me say thank you for having us. This is a great opportunity for us to highlight the sort of work we do in AFET. For me, being from the southern part of the island, yeah, so Melena has Tobago, I'm from South, Faizabad in particular. And growing up, I always had women in my family, cousins who have always been very socially active, and AFET was no different. So having had a relative who was also very actively involved, we were on campus together too, Melena and I.
Oh, nice.
We would come to all the AFET events, they had suit me up, and I've always been around the organization. But about in 2018, I decided to make it official and join officially, even though I was always kind of just there participating on the fringes, looking on. So for me, it's an opportunity to learn, to grow, as Melena said, to network with other women, because I think for professional women, we need to have that sort of support network, knowing that there are others who are just like us, moving along in the world, trying to find their place in the world. And
Right.
it gives you the opportunity to do that. So that's why I joined.
Sounds fantastic. In terms of female looking on, how do we then become a part of that? Melena, you alluded to some of the events and plans for the new year. So is there a calendar of events that this new board wants to roll out to us immediately? Or do we have plans to look forward to at the very least?
Ironic that you asked. The membership and potential members can look out for that calendar of events, which will be rolled out pretty soon after our next strategic planning meeting. And so you can mark your calendars. But I would tell you, while I don't have all the dates as yet, persons can look forward to our IWD, or International Women's Day celebration on March 8th. That is always a signature event of AFETT. They can look forward to our annual Suit Me Up in November. And as you know, Ainka, that is our flagship fundraising event that provides clothing and business wear to young and upcoming female professionals at really bargain cost. And of course, there's our leadership forum, which is a platform that provides that we provide for women all over the region, because this year we had last year, sorry, we're in 2023.
Right.
Last year we had quite a few dynamic speakers, two of whom came from the Caribbean or neighboring Caribbean islands, and so we are looking forward to those things. We do have monthly membership meetings that occur on the last Thursday of every month. And so if you are thinking of joining us this year, then you can, of course, start with one of our membership meetings, because they are always filled with knowledge, education, training, and of course, we do have some lovely social events, as Simone would have alluded to. Yes?
Nice. I like the sound of things, not just because it is the opportunity to meet like-minded females, but to make impact. Now, I noticed that on the board we have directors of programs and social outreach, even research and public advocacy. So perhaps many of these events will lend themselves to those causes and perhaps others. Any particulars that you would like to highlight this morning? Perhaps Simone, specifically coming from a background of everything from HIV and AIDS to liquor and cocktail, quite a broad spectrum of interest and actual experience. What are the specific causes that we perhaps can look forward to in the eventual rollout?
Well, for me, I will tell you, I was the former director of research and public advocacy, so that's very near and dear to my heart.
Right.
So we do a lot of advocacy. We participate in everything. Every time they have a government consultation, NGO networking, we are there to lend a voice to what our membership, because we are a membership organization. So we always make representation for women, women in the workplace, women's rights, women's health issues. So last year, actually for the last 2 years, we have been looking at gender-based violence, and we will continue to do so. We've had a number of, I want to say, workshops, training sessions, workplace sexual harassment, teaching women about their rights and how they could be empowered to make representation for themselves. You know, we will continue to look at issues which plague women, their health, women in the workplace, mental, physical health. We had sessions last year on the psychological effects or the impacts of COVID, and teaching women again to cope and to be able to be resilient in this sort of environment. Now that we're coming off the tail end of the pandemic, we are going to have more sessions along those lines as well. So members and non-members, people who are interested in joining, can also participate in some of those sessions. And I know, Melena, there's something a baby that we were talking about last year in terms of training female entrepreneurs, providing that sort of, environment to kind of foster and nurture them. So we have a lot of things that we plan this year. I don't want to give away everything, but definitely stay tuned.
Well, we have to stay tuned to find out not just about the events and the causes, but of course to meet the other members on the board. I understand that we have at least 10 females on this board, yes?
That is correct. 10
Right.
females who bring a very complex wealth of leadership experience and technical expertise that I know would ensure that we meet all our strategic objectives this year. These ladies are on fire. I am so privileged and excited to have this team with us. And listen, as Simone said, real focus on advocacy, empowering and transforming the lives of the women we serve, and really creating serious change in our society to just make life a little easier for women at all levels.
And in that case, we say thank you very much for joining us this morning and igniting that fire within all of us, not just the females, but to the ones who do want to join in, we will encourage them to check you both online, because you are very much available both on Facebook and Instagram, I see. So let me say thank you very much to Miss Melena Simon O'Neill, the president of AFETT, and Miss Simone Francois-Whittier, the president-elect of AFETT, for joining us this morning and inspiring us here and now.
Thank you so much for having us. We look forward to seeing you.
Our pleasure.
Take care.
Guys, we take a break, give you the chance to catch up on all that we've talked about and more, because there is more when we return here on the Now Morning Show.